Now, everybody's been talking about this whole situation with Mark Rober, about the whole Tesla situation. I do have some more information, actually, a little bit of extra intel in regards to this whole situation. So I kind of want to see if Atozy brings up any of this stuff. If somebody else made a video on this, I figured I'll react to it next time. I already did it. I know I already did it at Atozy today, but we'll do another one.
This mistake might have just ruined Mark Rober's image for a while, as it seems like things could have been done in a little bit more of a transparent way. But if Mark Rober did this on purpose, that's up for discussion.
One game I freaking need.
Let's go through the details. On this date, Mark Rober posted a video titled, "Can you fool a self-driving car?"
Not like the worst
and that's exactly what he tries to do.
I'm in my Tesla.
But the problem is I'm trying to also buy the complete freaking what Saga? What's after Saga? No, because Saga's 6. It's like more than 6 games, I think. The complete like everything of the compendium of Kingdom Hearts games. Because we can play that for like I'll play that for a while, bro. I'm all in. Freaking love those games, especially on freaking Steam. You kidding me? Hell yeah, bro! I would love to play that on stream. But like with that one, it's gonna be like because it's like I can either buy Kingdom Hearts right now. And the $40 remake of Final Fantasy VII, and that would be like $100. Or instead of $100, I could buy for $70. I could buy Final Fantasy VII and 7 Rebirth for $70, which would be cheaper. But then, who knows when the hell else there's gonna be another freaking sale for Kingdom Hearts.
Wiley Coyote Rover in a painted wall. Please stop. Please stop. Holy... And I'm doing this to see if Tesla's autopilot...
And since my freaking job is a government job, I freaking don't get paid till the freaking 10th, which is like in freaking 20 days.
Can be tricked, because it famously only relies on simple cameras to navigate the world, as opposed to much more expensive tech.
And that more expensive tech seems to have taken part in the video by providing a vehicle for him to test against the Tesla. So they ran a couple of different tests, with the Tesla running an autopilot, which is kind of important because the Tesla has something called full self-driving, which apparently is an updated and better version of autopilot, which came out roughly 5 years after it. But for some reason, he's still
no clue that full self-driving and autopilot were different.
Chose to use autopilot, and this is how he introduced the challenge.
My Tesla on autopilot, however, only relies on simple cameras and its image processing to navigate the world. So to see if that tech is just too simple, we came up with a 6-part LiDAR versus camera head-to-head face-off, culminating in a history-making first Tesla versus cartoon physics test.
Okay, so
I guess my first question would be, what's LiDAR? Like, what is the specific, How does LiDAR detect obstacles? Because Tesla's autopilot is just using image processing, which is basically just like image recognition.
So from everyone's understanding of that introduction, the Tesla is running on autopilot. Then obviously, they had a Lexus kitted out with Luminar's LiDAR system running a version of autopilot as well. But the first few tests involved kids in the road, and clearly, the Tesla did not perform well at all.
Tesla owner, there is a silver lining. Sadly, it did not.
Now, obviously, that was controversial, but most of the focus was around this part.
Now, as you can see as a human driver, while that looks sort of convincing, the image processing in our brains is advanced enough that we pick up on minor visual inconsistencies and we wouldn't hit it. And as for the LiDAR, it isn't looking at what image is printed on the wall. So this sort of just looks like a wall, which would make this the easy...
Yeah, okay, I see.
Advanced enough that we pick up on minor visual inconsistencies and we wouldn't hit it. And as for the LiDAR, it isn't looking...
So would the LiDAR be detecting then this as the image? Like is it like kind of like echo kind of like how bats like be like sending sounds and it bounces back? Is that how that works? But like with light or what?
At what image is printed on the wall. So this sort of just looks like a wall, which would make this the easiest test of the day. And as I suspected, handled.
Yeah, because it's like totally different like ways of detecting something.
No problem.
Meanwhile, the Tesla.
Holy
he full-blown Wile E. Coyote that thing.
Yeah, That didn't pass at all. And people on the internet were quick to point out that at 1529 here, as he was approaching the wall, the Tesla was not running autopilot, as you can see by the lack of the rainbow road on the infotainment screen there. Then you see at 1534, it suddenly turns on. And then here at 1542, the autopilot for some reason is not on again, right as he hit the wall. And the way it's edited, it almost looks like it could be conveniently hiding something. For context, I'll play the quick full clip here.
And as the wall crept closer and closer without moving an inch, holy crap. Question was if the Tesla would detect it in time to step on the brakes. And it turned out...
Oh, and I guess just to make damages worse, they added the same crash dummy kid behind the wall as well.
Just to add insult to
And the
injury.
YouTuber Meet Kevin
Okay.
thinks Tesla has quite the case against Mark Rober because he didn't use the full self-driving mode.
By implying that
He didn't imply, though. He specifically said it was the autopilot, though. He didn't say it was full self-driving.
the technology he's showing is Tesla's full self-driving technology. He literally writes, "Can you fool a
He
self-driving?"
did not imply that, though, at all. That's very bad faith. Well, I mean, I'm glad Atozy showed it at the very beginning. At the very beginning of the video, he specifically said autopilot. He did not say full self-driving.
car. But he doesn't actually use the self-driving technology in his experiment. Instead,
Because he didn't say he was going to use self-driving technology. He said he was going to use autopilot,
he uses the autopilot technology to
which he said he was going to use.
destroy figures of children and imply that if you rely on this technology, you could end up being subject to vehicular manslaughter claims. This is really problematic because if the test was done more fairly, it'd be tough for Tesla to have an argument here. But because Tesla's full self-driving technology was completely ignored, and in some cases even their autopilot technology may have been disabled, Tesla could have a pretty big argument against Mark Rober here.
Yeah, I feel like that would be the worst nightmare for any creator. I mean, you're just out here trying to make a viral YouTube video and then suddenly you get sued by the 11th largest company in the world. No thank you. But it's safe to say this video got a reaction. There was a lot of viral tweets calling out this video, one of which was a thread with about 8 million views so far. And here it says the video is filled with deception, lies, and illegal undisclosed advertising. I'm not sure about that last allegation here, but we'll get into that later on. In the video,
Undisclosed advertising?
Tesla does not detect the wall and goes straight through it. On top of that, there is a kid mannequin that gets absolutely nailed at the end. But there's a few things Mark doesn't tell you. First of all, he lied about full self-driving. He didn't even use FSD. He used autopilot, which even Tesla admits is an older, not as strong technology. But even worse, he deactivates
Yeah, but in the video, he specifically said that, though. We just saw it.
it right before he hits the wall. In a sneaky maneuver, he moves the wheel to deactivate the autopilot. Then he points out the stock of the company that he promoted or indirectly promoted, depending on who you ask, is up $50 million in market cap right after the video released. So the company went up about 27% in one single day after this video was released. But then the thread starts throwing out even more allegations, saying that on top of that, he lies about other sponsors. He regularly shills Google Pixel phones. In the video itself, he shows a Pixel filming the video. Look close enough at the reflection of the Tesla, he's actually filming with an iPhone and edited the shot to look like a Pixel. Okay, hold up, that is odd if that is actually true. Why would he do that? Why would he not just film with a Google Pixel? If you're being paid to use Google
for real,
Pixels,
though.
why aren't you just using a Google Pixel? But then on top of that, people also pointed out that the Google logo on the phone is suddenly in landscape here at 1352 in his video.
Yeah, that's edited as shit. What do you mean? That's edited as hell. What? 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 Why would you do that? What the hell?
So I don't know what's going on there. Okay, I'm coming back like 16 hours later. So my editing team and I, we spent a lot of time looking for an explanation for this. And so far, it definitely doesn't look like they replaced the phones in an edit, as there's no errors in the footage, even when zoomed way in. I mean, we've been scrubbing the whole footage at a pixel level and there's literally zero flaws. So it doesn't seem edited to us. The two explanations that I can find for the Google logo sideways is either he's using a phone case or an unreleased phone. Another thing that backs that it's not edited is here's a screenshot of the phone being used the other way.
Has he had it fixed before? I can see a bootleg back panel be. When I used to fix them, you would be able to replace that back panel. But that sideways G is just weird.
And the
It's a
logo
whole
is
new
upside
level
down.
of weird.
Also, it just doesn't look like they try to hide the iPhone. If they spent all of this time hypothetically editing a Google logo onto an iPhone, they would cover up the reflection. Because if you're hypothetically going to do
I haven't watched the original video, so I'm glad Atozy actually went through and looked it up. All right, cool.
that would be hundreds of hours of editing. So why wouldn't you cover up the reflection? But overall, we think there were multiple takes, and in some cases they used Google Pixels, and other cases they used iPhones. And then the final part of this thread here is he points out that Mark posted a video showing the full clip, but he's alleging that it's a completely different clip. So I thought we'd take a look at that together as well.
Here we go. Here we go.
There's a yellow brick road. Then it goes away again.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's put the original and the alleged raw footage side by side here.
Here we go. Holy.
Editing team, what do you guys think? It doesn't look like the same clip to me, as the speedometer seemingly gives it away, as the autopilot was engaged at 39 miles an hour in the YouTube video, then at 42 miles an hour in the video that was posted to Twitter. Something's not right here. No way did both Mark Rober and Marcus Brownlee get exposed by a speedometer in the same year. Then people pointed out that the wall seems to be pre-cut, like they wanted the crash to happen. So
Monk? This seems like this is seemingly a very, very intricate.
taking all these things together, it looks a little
Conspiracy.
sus. For Mark,
Conspiracy.
Best case, questionable test. Worst case, he might get sued by Tesla for trying to make the most entertaining and viral video.
Nah, son, that whole wall being broken to be pre-cut in the back, and that second footage being so off base, that's suspicious. That's suspicious.
Out of his test.
The phone thing was
and then
pretty
we also have,
nonsensical.
his image being put into jeopardy as well. Meanwhile, Luminar, the company that was also involved in this video, is apparently in hot water as well, even though it seems like they're the clear winner of the situation with their massive stock gain just days before their earnings, which is coming in at March 20th. So that's great for them. But apparently Luminar were advertising Mark's video on their website,
FS Drive will start to drive for you?
but quickly removed it when the internet backlash started. Then on top of that, another, I guess, PR disaster for Luminar.
You're not wrong. It did. It felt like it was accelerating, but I just would have assumed that was the car.
And Mark is, you have this tweet from Mark back in 2022 thanking the CEO of Luminar for a massive donation towards Team C's. Then you have another tweet that's,
oh, now it gets thick. The plot thickens. No frickin' way.
currently doing rounds on the Luminar topic by Phil Truby here that says a PR disaster unfolding in
There might actually be some weight. Okay, I wasn't a believer at first. I feel like there might be some legal grounds for lawsuits here.
A LiDAR manufacturer needs more sales, so it decided to hook up with YouTuber Mark Rober of Glitter Bomb fame to make a video showcasing how LiDAR works better than Tesla's Vision, only system for self-driving. I'm not so sure about the framing of this tweet, but Mark put together a contrived scenario of driving into a silly Wile E. Coyote canvas of a painted roadway. LiDAR sees it as solid, but Tesla's Vision might be tricked into thinking it's a road. But he had to fake the contrived scenario, not using Tesla's latest FSD system.
You know what I saw? I heard the excuse, some people were saying excuses on the Philip DeFranco show and stuff, that in order to use full self-driving, you have to punch in an address. Otherwise, it doesn't work. And where they were at, there was no way to punch an address. But I just feel like, I feel like if even the streets inside of Disneyland, theme parks and stuff, and even the streets, even dirt streets here in California, on ranches or personal property or stuff that you'd be like, why the hell would this have a street name? It still has a street, like in the industries and the factories and stuff. even inside the factory, the company factory walls, like there's still street names. The UPS like parking lots, they have street names as if it was a main street because like they all have to have that. So I'm just like, I feel like you would still be able to do that no matter where you are. Unless you're like straight up on a freaking like plane, like if you take it to, I guess maybe they were on like a plane freaking like plane strip, the landing strip.
5-year-old autopilot system and frame-by-frame analysis showed that autopilot wasn't even enabled at the time of the crash. Then the Tesla community goes nuts over the weekend.
But I feel like even the airport, like streets where the planes go, is still technically like a labeled street, isn't it?
But Monday rolls around and his 65 million YouTube subscribers decide to buy Luminar stock, pumping it up by 25%. So now, apparently, there's a very real threat of an SEC investigation. Luminar had touted the video on its website before taking it down for stock pumping and ultimate irony. Guess who was Luminar's biggest customer before this? Yeah, Tesla, who bought it to do testing and training of their vision system. Oh, okay.
Bro, biting the hand that feeds you. No freaking way.
Okay, so that's really interesting. Also, this tweet is definitely making a lot of assumptions, but still interesting.
Oh, that's like Apple talking smack about Samsung screens. Or like Samsung people talking smack about Apple screens. Like, yo, stupid, they're the same exact OLED screens. Like, Apple buys them from freaking Samsung, you smart one. Like, what? Like, come on.
But they ended by saying, I don't think Tesla's going to be buying too many more Luminar LiDARs going forward.
I have to assume
Federal investigation.
I have to assume they're going to be looking for alternative solutions.
Lawsuits, lost
Okay, but if Trump increases the tariffs on LiDAR systems, like, I'm just saying, like...
sales, I suspect a marketing VP is going to be looking for a new job soon. Okay, so that is actually a super unexpected spin that Tesla was allegedly the...
Imagine they fire the marketing like department guy to try to appease Tesla.
Main customer for this LiDAR company, and this LiDAR company might have just bit the hand that fed it by...
What sucks is that what Marquis Brownlee did was like bad, reprehensible, terrible action, no good, bad. He can apologize and he can move on and promise to do better and do better, and he can adjust his actions. Mark Rober, as a tech YouTuber, no one is ever going to trust your reviews ever again. You have just lost all your credibility. There is no bigger... At least Marquis Brownlee still has his credibility. I just wouldn't trust him driving around, you know, anywhere near my kids. But... like, I still trust him when he tells me a camera's good. That dude is like, I used to watch him in Chaos too for his cameras. You get me? I still have full confidence in Marquis Brownlee's faith in like my faith in Marquis Brownlee's like abilities to like tell you what a good camera is, tell you what a good headphone is, you know, headset is. Like, you know, I that's still like there. But with this,
being involved in this video,
you can't trust any results this guy gives you now.
And do here. Oh man, I would not want to be standing in
the future and in the past are obsolete now.
Doesn't sound like the best positioning. But keep this in mind because thankfully Philip DeFranco was able to get Mark into an interview this quickly to talk about all this. And
I'm glad he was able to bring this up. I saw this.
Here, the first thing he addressed was choosing autopilot rather than the full self-driving for the test.
Was there any reason you opted to test autopilot on
He uses this excuse
on the Tesla instead of full self-driving?
My understanding with full self-driving is that you have to enter an address for it to work. And it, as opposed to just being able to engage it. And this is what Tesla is called autopilot. And even Googling it, seeing what they determine as autopilot. And my understanding is that the sensor is not different, whether it's full self-driving or autopilot. Knowing if that's a wall or not, that doesn't change. So I think I'd be happy to rerun the experiment in full.
The thing is that I would have, and I was believing him up until now that I've seen that those two footages are absolutely different footages, and that I've seen the pre-cut wall on the back. Like, this is like you and with that little acceleration on top of that, like there's way too many damn coincidences. If this is what this is, like you can't expect me. You can expect me to believe one coincidence, two coincidences. Way too many dots on the like way too much. Way too much. You can't tell me a duck's not a duck. Like it's quacking and it looks like a duck and it's quacking,
be a
bro.
different result.
You can't
so to me,
know.
it was a distinction without a difference.
I'm gonna be honest here and say I have no idea what's true here. This is just way above my pay grade. But he does go on to address the Twitter video that he posted.
In the clip that you posted on Twitter where you said here's the raw footage, can you explain what it is that we're seeing and what you're trying to explain is happening in that? You said not sure why it disengages 17 frames before hitting the wall, but my feet weren't touching the brake or gas.
So I think people were saying that I was manually just drove it through because 17 frames, by the way, is like less than a half of a second before it hits the...
Monke is very smart though. See how he's framing the entire conversation around whether or not he freaking engaged the autopilot or not, and whether that mattered. It's like, yeah, but then if it didn't matter, why are you showing, like, why are you giving us fake footage? Why'd you pre-cut it? What's up with the acceleration? How come he's not discussing any of those points? Because those are the really good points.
The wall. Again, my hypothesis.
He's bringing up
I don't know
bringing
why
up
it
stuff
would
that doesn't matter.
disengage. I was not pulling on the steering wheel. And by the way, even if I did disengage it, it's less than a half a second before you go off. The outcome would not be different. My guess is maybe the sensors, the ultrasonic sensors, which I think are on the bumper, they probably just disengage if they sense that something big is there, and it just stops being in the self-driving mode or autopilot, whatever you want to call it.
There have been people that say that it looks like you may have had multiple takes or possibly gone through the wall multiple times. Were there multiple takes? What can you give any insight there?
Was. I mean, this is like what you put in end video. So the first day we went out there, I think you can even see it. There was we didn't have like the styrofoam wall. It was just like a vinyl sheet. We did a take. It went right through. I think that was the one that maybe was at 40 miles an hour or something. But it was just like, instead of cutting through it, like, which would visually look cool, it just kind of tore the side and like a little flap came up. So it was like, that was a very interesting finding that it actually worked.
You can't go using the Mr. Beast defense. I did it for the content. People don't go to you for this. If you're a reviewer, you should be giving people the real, honest, like, events that happen. You shouldn't be trying to glorify or what is it? Bananicize it? You shouldn't try to... I don't know, you shouldn't try to, like, make it more freaking huge. Like, you shouldn't try to be like, oh, let's add fireworks to the show. It's like, no, fool. Like, it's freaking, like, what actually happened.
So you'll see it going through the wall, but it's more of a flap. And then we're like, holy crud, I can't believe that really worked. And then,
people
I don't know, like,
that
3
more.
weeks later, we went back out time when schedule permitted, this time with, like, a styrofoam wall. Because I thought it'd be funny if it's like, well, now that it goes through the walls, we should have like a fun cutout as it goes through. So I guess in the edit, then we used the start of one of those clips. So it went through the wall twice.
So the clip that you posted online or on Twitter was the one where the raw of you actually going through it the second time?
Yes, that's the second time.
But moving on to another hot topic, did Luminar give him any money?
Regarding Luminar, there have been a lot of people asking what kind of role they played. Right, the description of the video says they provided the car for testing. Did they have any say in the edit? Did they have any say in the
They
setup?
didn't see the edit. I really want to clear this. Luminar gave us no money. They had no say in the edit. They did not approach us. They were just a car technology I know that used LiDAR. So I reached out to them and say, hey, will you let us borrow some cars? And then they let us use the cars. So we didn't pay them to come. They did not pay us. They had no say. And we didn't know what would happen either.
They didn't pay us. They just gave us a bunch of multi-$1,000 cars.
That way. And we told them, look, if your LiDAR fails one of these, it goes in the video. And if Tesla would have passed all of them, by the way, that would have gone in the video. Like, I'm very agnostic. I really just wanted to see what would happen. So truly, I don't have a horse in this race.
Okay, so that is at least good, but does he own any stock?
Once again, it's like based off of these accusations. Do you or anyone close to you have any Luminar stock?
I do not own any Luminar stock, or I do not know of anyone close to me who owns any Luminar stock. Absolutely unequivocal.
And I know you said you love Tesla. Just to confirm, do you have any options or puts on Tesla?
I have no options on Tesla. I have no puts on Tesla. I am just, there's no financial anything in here at all. At all, 100%. I'll go into court of law.
Again, this is very good, especially if he ends up getting sued over this. Then the final snippet that I'll show from the interview is his response to Luminar removing the video off of their website.
So Mark, kind of the last two things I'll hit on. One, do you have any comment or reaction to Luminar removing the link to your video from their website? I believe it was as of this morning.
I think someone said that they had posted it. My guess is they took it down because we were very clear with them, like, you aren't allowed to use this at trade shows. This isn't part of your marketing material. Like, this isn't a puff piece for you. We just want to borrow the car, and whatever happens, happens. So my guess is they felt bad and realized that's a bad look if they are posting it. But we told them, like, this is not for your marketing materials. We are just using your car for our video.
Doubt it. Let's be honest. More than likely, before they realized this was a controversy, they saw it as free advertising, put it up on the channel, he got the views. It was told, like, let's not pretend like it's not what it was, you know?
Yeah, so if it's down, I'm guessing that's why they took it down, out of respect for
Probably
us.
took it down for
I
the
don't know.
freaking controversy.
I think it could be either because of the backlash or maybe losing their largest customer, Tesla, allegedly. I don't know if that's true or not, but those two alternatives sound more realistic than what Mark said. But according to a Motor Trend article, while I was doing research on this, I found out there was a National Highway Traffic Safety Administration report on exactly what happened to Mark's Tesla before impact, where it disengaged from any form of autopilot right before impact. And this was apparently a known flaw. So then my next question is, did this happen here? That would at least explain why the Tesla didn't hit the wall on autopilot, and at least corroborate what Mark was telling Philip DeFranco. I'll be linking Philip's full interview in the description down below, because for obvious reasons, I'm not going to sit here and include all of his questions in my video. It's hard to really...
It was a pretty convincing interview, but he did not speak on any of the more, I would say, convincing evidence against him.
Really know what happened here, but it's safe to say this mistake seems to have ruined Mark's image for a lot of people, and it's still unclear if it was actually Mark's or Tesla's mistake here. From an entertainment perspective, it was a great video. I understand why it went super viral, and it always sucks to see creators I enjoy in hot water. Either way though, Tesla stock is down 5% and Luminar stock is up 27%, so it seems like markets were moved off of this video. And while I enjoy in hot water. Either way though, Tesla stock is down 5% and Luminar stock...
I'm just saying though, I'd rather have one Tesla stock right now than one Luminar stock. But yeah, I mean,
stock is up 27%, so it seems like markets were moved off of this video.
That technically could be enough for Tesla to sue.
And whether Mark likes it or not, he might have just kicked the hornet's nest. And it already seems like people have tried to recreate the test in a low-budget way with the full self-driving mode instead of the autopilot feature.
他直接变道吗？他根本不走啊！对啊，他不走那里啊！哎，没办法，他只能跟他的 FSD 来走一下这个。
Bro, I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't even notice there was something in front of the car over here. I thought this was just a freaking video of somebody driving, and the car was just switching lanes. But it actually genuinely noticed the thing and immediately switched over to the next lane.
他直接不去了啊！他不去啊！他有不去啊！
And I mean, it makes sense if they're using the LiDAR cameras to program and to improve this one. No doubt it'll be able to recognize it.
他直接不去了啊！他不
It completely ignores it.
对不对？他别子都是酸的，一打开他就走啊！他打开他就绕。
This looks
他
bad.
根本就不去那儿啊！不去啊，打死都不去啊！你
And with a mannequin.
还是要变道，哎，回来。
It slows down and tries to go in between them.
他也知道这儿有东西，你看他知道啊，显示出来了吧？
That's
And
impressive.
clearly, yeah, the Tesla did way better here. Obviously,
Yeah.
these conditions weren't the same though. But either way, it'll be interesting to see what happens, and YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this
It's not the same conditions, but boy, does it make Mark's video look way worse.
video, so I would definitely recommend checking it out. And hey, if you're new here, it'll be awesome if you subscribed, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Actually, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal video, my dudes. Frickin' A.
This mistake might have
Let's
just
drop a
ruined
like
Mark
there.
Rober's image.
I'm gonna share this on the Discord. Go drop Atozy a like, go drop him a comment, go drop him all that good stuff. What a freaking phenomenal video. Thanks for hanging out. Like or dislike, comment, and subscribe, and become a Monodachi today! I live stream all day, Monday through Friday, so go say hi! That's all for now, Monos. Goodbye, and thanks for swinging by. Salut!